I have no Eagles points. Welcome. Because that got caught.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the latest episode of Birds vs. Boys. You have myself, Kmess, along with Aidan. It is June 21st. It is the beginning of summer. It is the longest day of the year. We don't have much going on in terms of football. Make sure you head over to the YouTube channel and watch the video that we just dropped about who would be the drunkest at the Super Bowl parade if the Cowboys won the Super Bowl and the Eagles, as well as Aidan dropped a solo video about the grass, and the Super Bowl is getting pounded by Chiefs fans on every form of social media. And I did a solo video about the RB2 position of the Dallas Cowboys. But Aidan, we don't want to talk about any of that right now.
No, I want to talk about the submarine. I have so many submarine takes. I have so many ocean takes. I have so many Titanic takes. I love the Eagles.
Is this going to be the moment we get canceled?
No, we. Okay, let's organize ourselves. I had coworkers find the show, and I was like, "Oh, this is awesome! I'm so thankful for the support. They were so nice about it. I was like, this is fantastic. They were so nice." And then I thought to myself, wow, I really like this job. I hope they don't listen too much.
And then I had a client of mine who is a massive Eagles fan. I met her for the first time, and she's like, I listen to all the podcasts. And I was like, I was the guy in the corner of the room in the meme, like, they don't know that I'm the host of an NFL podcast. And I was like, do I do it? Do I do it? I'm like, damn it, I'm doing it. And I told her, she's like, immediately subscribe. And then I was like, I don't know if that was a good idea.
Yeah. Well, you got to be careful about who you give it to. But I don't think this is where we will get canceled. I think I have genuine thoughts and curiosities.
Me too.
About this submarine. I don't know if you want to start or if I should start.
You seem like you are very. I'm going to let you just roll.
Okay. The ocean. No. Just no. On every single front. Going into the ocean, storms in the ocean, deep sea fishing in the ocean, the animals that come from the ocean, doing an exploration as deep as the Titanic in the ocean. No to all of it. No. I saw a clip. I've been learning a lot of facts. Now I'm like in an ocean deep dive. That was a bad play on words. I didn't realize where I was going with it. I did not realize there's been more people in space than there have people to the depth of the Titanic wreckage. Yes. That's insane.
Did you see that our nuclear subs, like with the most powerful Navy in the world, go about maximum like 1,700 feet down? This thing's at 13,000 feet.
No, it's not. It's in a bunch of pieces at the bottom.
And they're in a pizza box, basically.
we could do an entire show on the fact that they're controlling their like a milk carton submarine with a GameCube controller and thought that they were gonna go down to the freaking Titanic, dude. Like, were they just so rich that they were and conceited that they didn't realize how deep the ocean was? Like, it's not a pond.
Well, and there were plenty of like important organizations in the realm of ocean and diving and submarines that were like, yeah, that thing can't go that deep. And they're like, okay, thank you.
They got multiple pieces of their hardware from Camping World, which sponsors about the 27th most important college football bowl game. And that should tell you.
And they may have like a couple stickers on a NASCAR car.
Yeah, it's a minor miracle that they made it into the water. Started to actually deep dive.
And then wait. Maybe this is like a mechanical thing. Maybe it has to be this way. Maybe everyone is like that. But who was like, yep, we're going to bolt it from the outside.
That's the other thing.
So even if it surfaces,
they still can't get out. But the reason that it's bolted from the outside is because, again, the ocean is a no, and it's scary, and there's so much pressure if you go that deep that you have to be so secluded in and just constrained in because of the pressure of the depth that you'd be in. Just no on the ocean. Just no.
And Did you ever? I think back in like I don't know 6th grade, where in like science class, and you had to make. I don't know if you did this. You had to make something to put like an egg in and drop it off a building to see if the egg would not crack. And like you could make it
Yes.
however you want. Like I
Yeah.
think my egg thing was designed better than this submarine.
Probably. And also, just from my point of view, going off that, like when I was younger, when we were younger, my family did a trip and it was either Baltimore or even may have been Philadelphia. And we went to a submarine that was from like World War II and you could tour it.
Mm-hmm.
Just being inside, I was like, no,
Done.
I was like, get me out of here. I feel so cramped. And that was docked above water.
And that
Why
was a
would
real
anyone
submarine.
Yes, that was a real submarine that they used in wars. This
And
was
they
a
had
toy.
beds and seats.
This
This thing
There
doesn't
are
even have
Hess
a seat.
trucks that are built better than this thing, and they thought they were going to go 13,000 feet deep in the ocean where no one's ever gone.
And these are the other things here. There's no cable connecting you to anything.
No,
The only way you communicate is through some text message thing from like 2004.
they have a Moto Razor. Like, oh shit, we're out of
Literally.
text for a month.
We got nothing. And is there no like safety ping thing? Like, how does it not have a thing? Like, if something goes wrong, it's pinging sonar. Like, bing, bing.
Because
They're
it is
banging.
so
They're
far
banging on the
down
thing.
that they can't even hear it. That's the other thing. Even if it floats back up, they still can't find it because the ocean is so big. To cover the amount of miles that the ocean is impossible, even just to find it when it's above.
Like, it honestly just it's consuming me right now in so many aspects. Like,
All I think about.
literally diving into the ocean. I've done that as well. Literally sitting, like I zoned out before on the couch. My wife's like, are you okay? And I was like, I'm just trying to mentally put myself in that thing right now. Like,
Yes.
what would I be doing? What
Oh,
would
I
I
would
be
kill
thinking?
myself.
How am I going to be sitting? What happens when like somebody else dies, but I'm still alive for like
Do
all
you
of it?
think do you think there was like a slow like, oh man, we are screwed? Or do you think it was like malfunction? Again, at the pressure, because the ocean is a no. It was so deep that it just the one little like this is clearly I don't know anything about machinery, but like one bolt or screw gets loose and you're done, right? Like it's over. That pressure, it's just done. But do you
That's
think it was like that? And you were like, they had to just talk and be like, all right, well, we've got 3 hours left of oxygen. Does anyone have any deep, dark secrets they'd like to get off their chest? Or do you think it was just like flat 1 second pressure and gone?
I I hope it was the pressure and they just went because that's I would assume a better way to go. And it lost communication like an hour and a half in. So like I'm assuming something went wrong, right? It takes 2.5 hours to get down, 2.5 hours to get back up. I'm assuming but also I've heard on many reports today that people that have been on this death trap that are like, oh yeah, it loses communication all the time. What? Like the first time you lose communication, like maybe we change our means of communication before we go back down in the ocean.
This just seems like red flag after red flag. The ocean itself, again, is a red flag. Do you ever think about this? Is going to go into like a 45-minute conversation
Yep.
about the ocean. It is so deep and so big. Think about the other organisms that live down there. Think
That
about
we
the shit
have
that you
no
see.
idea
We have no
exists.
idea.
None.
There,
We've literally
there's
explored space more than we've explored the bottom of the ocean.
I was going to say there could be aliens living in the ocean. I have had this take, and people think I am nuts. I will not eat octopus. I think they're aliens.
Could be.
I genuinely think octopuses are aliens.
Did you watch the My Octopus Friend or whatever on Netflix?
I have not. What's it about?
A guy that falls in love with an octopus. He goes and swims in the ocean every day to go.
Is this real?
Befriends it. The thing swims on him for like 2 years.
Gross.
They become best friends. You need to watch it.
I was going to
Tonight.
say something that was going
Tonight.
to get us canceled.
Tonight. He becomes friends with this thing.
I was dangerously close to having a cancelable comment about where those tentacles are going.
Nope, didn't go that far. But like it was, and I mean, he had a camera with him every time he went down. So yeah, it's
At
pretty
least
wild.
his camera made it.
But like, yeah, I don't. Could it have been a catastrophic failure? Probably, but also like they could literally be stuck in the Titanic.
Yeah, I actually saw a report of that. Like their equipment could have gotten caught on something down there, and maybe not even the Titanic. Maybe something else. Maybe a megalodon. Who knows? Maybe an entire city that
Maybe
aliens have
maybe a
built that we don't
whale
know
just
about.
ate it.
Yeah, yeah. It could have got attacked. It could have probably if you get bounced off your trajectory, you probably just get lost. It's
Yep,
pitch black. It's cold. You can't see anywhere that you're going. You know, like if an orca swims right at it and spins you around like you're doing a pinata bat,
you're
over
done.
everything done. Yeah. What? And you don't know what you're going to run into again because no one should go in oceans ever.
So let's pivot just a second to the people, right? $250,000 to go in a tin can at the
Yeah.
bottom of the ocean.
No chance.
One dude brings his 19-year-old son.
Did he? Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
it's a
I did
father.
read
There's
that.
a father and a son on the thing.
Nah, no. My dad went to spring training with me. I think that was the
That's because you have a good father. But
yeah.
like, do they have that much freaking money that they're just run out of things to do?
I was thinking that because I was like, if I was rich, would this be fun?
No,
Because yeah, okay, that's the conclusion that I came to. Is like I would do explorations. This would never be one that I do. It
I would
would
do
just never do it.
explorations of things I'm not going to talk about here, and islands. And I'd go to every island in the world first. I
Yeah, above ground.
I would buy a soccer team. I don't know. Like,
Start a golf league and merge it with the PGA.
not I think
Who knows?
I'm not going to go see a ship that sunk 112 years ago that we know everything about already. We saw the movie.
I saw the movie. Yes, Leonardo DiCaprio, great in that movie.
Like,
Great movie.
guess what? They all died.
Yeah. Well, not all of them. She wouldn't share the goddamn board with
True.
Jack, so
True.
she lived.
That
Just
was when I saw the movie.
selfish.
I saw the movie in the theaters with my mom, and I was like, I think I was like 10. And like
You
when
saw it in theaters?
oh yeah,
I don't know if
I'm
I
not
was
old.
born.
I'm not old.
When did it come out?
It was 97.
Okay, I was 3. Okay, I
Yeah,
was
I
alive.
was.
Vince was not born.
But like when Kate Winslet goes like on the back of the ship, like 15 minutes into the movie, and she was in jump
Mhm.
off, my mom was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, oh my god!" I'm like, "Mom, if she jumps off now, the movie's over. Like, it's not gonna. We know that's not gonna
Yeah,
happen."
Mom,
I was 10
you
years old.
know how this ends.
Yeah,
There's no spoilers.
that was like you ever watch the Kings of Comedy back in the day with like Bernie Mac? He's like all these people are in the movie theater like, oh, he's like, we know what happens. Bring on the water. Bring on the water.
Yeah. I think there's a joke like that about Abraham Lincoln, like the movie about him. It's like, you know how this ends.
And
Don't go
unfortunately,
to
I
the
think we
play.
know how this one ends too. Like, it is
Oh,
like I don't know what's like work. Like, there's literally countdown clocks on Twitter for the oxygen.
really? I
Oh
haven't
yeah,
seen those.
like people that
I
just
just
have
see
like
memes.
timers. And I mean that's terrible. It really is. But
I feel like it's not even gonna make it to that point, to be honest. Which
like
is
what do
probably,
you
like you
do?
said, a better way to go.
What do you do in there? If it's just like
I didn't think about that. That's a very bleak thought. Like, what would you like? Because there's not much. Like, if you're dying on Earth, you'd like be like, "Oh, I've never gone skydiving before. I'd love to go skydiving," or "I just want to sit at the beach one more time."
and like me now as a parent, like I can't imagine sitting in there with my daughter who's 19 and like sitting there like I did this to you and now we're both gonna die.
Yes, that'd be awful. Secondly, let's talk about kids involved. the stepson
Yeah.
who was like, yeah, he's lost, but I'm going to the Blink 182 concert. Like,
And he
I
drops,
am
he
going.
would want me to be there.
You don't want me to be at the Blink 182 concert. I mean, it's been a while since they've toured. They got the band back together. It's been a while, so I don't know. Maybe he makes a good point. Maybe they did want to be there.
Just every aspect of this thing, from like that to the PlayStation controller to the now coming out the pages of uh, organizations saying like they fakely applied to have this deep dive certification or certificate, they never got it, to the lawsuit that people that worked for the company sued them because they weren't safe, like all of it.
This documentary will be Firefest level of just your jaw dropped in just the most awestruck way of things that went wrong. The commentary and quotes we're going to get from people who knew, who were involved in some form
Yep.
or fashion, what they're going to say about this. I feel like we have not even scratched the surface, which is probably where this ship should have stayed.
And that's also kind of, I don't know, this is going to come out way the wrong way. It's not the only reason I want them to be found alive, but it's definitely a reason I want them found alive, because then I think we need to like dig up Barbara Walters and put them on 2020 with her, because that would be the most watched interview ever,
Yes.
with
Oh
these
yeah.
people just sitting there like, so you had 12 hours of oxygen left. What was going through your brain?
Yeah, I want to know all of it. I want to know what did you guys talk about when you thought you were going to die in that little submarine?
And like, is there a GoPro just like mounted in there?
There's got to be footage. I'm sure. I mean, you're going down the Titanic wreckage, so you definitely are trying to document it in some form.
That too. You're going down to the Titanic to look at it. And I'm just going to take my ring light off for a minute. The porthole is this big. Like, and there's 5 people. What are you seeing? It's not like the thing is built of windows and it's not like you get to dock on the ship. Like, okay, everybody, you can get out for 25 minutes and walk around. You're looking
Yeah.
through this big of a fucking window.
It's not the Eiffel Tower. You're not going to be able to go down and take a picture of it.
Don't get it.
I don't get
None
it
of
at
it
all.
makes sense to me.
None of it makes
None
sense.
of it.
It'll be a great documentary.
Actually, the only thing that makes sense to me is that they're going to die.
Yeah, it's over. It's over.
When they're like, oh,
but
something went wrong. No shit.
yeah, they'll never find out what happened. Like that's I am so curious about things like this, but my questions will forever be unanswered, because to wrap it up again, as I've said, oceans, no, bad.
You
Just
think they never find
fascinating
it?
how big they are. I don't think they'll ever find it.
I think the only way they find it is like if it is attached to the Titanic, because
Yes.
they're sending down the robots and everything.
There's going to be another group that says it's going to be like that meme from Arrested Development where he's like, it hasn't worked for anybody before, but it might just work for us. And somebody will go down and try to find now 2 wreckages.
It's like that Malaysian Airlines. It's just
Gone. Again.
Ocean.
Just what?
Ocean.
Ocean. Just ocean. Gone forever. My brain is too small to comprehend how big oceans are.
I went on a cruise one time a couple of years ago, and like I went out on the balcony in the middle of the night and just like kind of like did one of these.
Oh,
and I was like, nope.
It's so dark. I got sick on the Cape May ferry. There's no way you're getting me on a cruise ship.
Nope. It was, and you just hear like, woof, woof. And then I'm like on the ship, and I'm like, it's pretty weird. Like and like they have like a little kind of like on an airplane, you look on like the map on the TV and it shows you like where the boat is. I'm like, there is nothing around us.
Yeah, you're just out there. Yep. Who knows what's out there with you?
But at least I wasn't in a tin can.
No, at least you could breathe air.
We'll see what happens. But
and that's 20 minutes of submarine talk. Let's talk about the Eagles and the Cowboys.
All right. So Dalvin Cook and DeAndre Hopkins want to play together. Is it possible, Aidan?
I think the only place it would be possible is the Bills. And if you're the Bills, you might as well do it because you already pissed off your best skill position player to make it happen. There was a report that Stephon Diggs is unhappy that he restructured his contract for DeAndre Hopkins, and they haven't landed Hopkins. And obviously, Dalvin Cook's brother is on the Bills. So if he wants to play with his brother, and they already have restructured somebody else's contract to make these things happen. So that's the only place I can see it.
I think the Bills make the most sense as well for every reason that you said. I'm just going to go through a couple teams that people are tossing out there, right? Miami. Don't
Yeah.
really see it. They don't really need it, right? I mean, it would be a luxury. I think one of them would be a luxury for them.
Cook would be good there.
Yes. I don't think they really need Hopkins.
No.
This is 100% a Rams move if the Rams weren't going to be maybe the worst team in the league.
Mhm.
Like 2 years ago, prime Rams. Like this is
Oh, yeah.
happening.
They'd already be there.
Yeah, they're both Rams. And it also, like, Cook wants to get paid, I'm sure, right? I know Hopkins has made, like 110 mil in his career. He wants a ring. But at the same time, he just saw Odell Beckham get 18 million, right? So why won't he want that? I could see the Patriots, too, getting both of them. Who's their running back?
I was going to say Patriots. They have Ramondre Stevenson. But I feel like Cook would be an upgrade from Damian Harris.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they cut James Robinson already.
Yep.
Flat out. So I can definitely see that happening. This is a wild comment. I already forget who Odell signed with.
The Ravens.
That's what it was. I could not think of that. But again, Patriots are another one that would be good for both guys.
And staying in the AFC East, I've seen people tie him to the Jets too. And I don't see it either. I'm so done. I'm already sick of the Jets.
I'm exhausted by them, and it's June. We're talking about missing submarines as our leading headline for a football show, and I'm already done with the Jets.
Like, why? Breece Hall is going to be a heck of a running back if he stays healthy.
Yeah.
They also have
Sauce Gardner.
Yeah, who's
Garrett
a very
Wilson.
good running back. They have 19 receivers.
Mm-hmm. Garrett Wilson's good, but that's not it.
So maybe one of them. I think what it comes down to is it's not going to happen. I don't think unless the Bills pull the trigger.
Yeah, I was about to say, I feel like the two teams where it's possible, Bills, Patriots, if you're the Bills, you might as well try, right? Might as well.
Yep. I mean, Carolina, but they're not really win now mode.
Yeah, I was going to say, unless you're trying to help your rookie quarterback and you say, all right, let's just surround him with weapons to make life easier for him. But that's the only way that I can see that being the case.
Seattle?
Maybe. But I feel like they want Kenneth Walker, the elite guy. Yeah, they did, and they drafted Kenneth Walker last year too.
Yeah. So no,
it's just it doesn't feel right. Yeah, so I think there's two options, and if they want to sign together, and listen, if you want to sign together, that means you're taking money from one another. Most likely.
Literally.
So we'll see if that actually plays out.
Yeah, I really don't see it happening. Another thing in the NFL world right now on June 21st is the league going basically team by team in person to remind players not to bet.
Okay, this seems to be a thing that I feel like you shouldn't have to remind them of it, but I feel like you could bet on other sports. I think some of them got in trouble for betting other sports, and I feel like that's not that bad, right?
So you can bet other sports, just not on team facilities. Like, if you're in the building, you can. If you're on the team plane, you can. If you're in the team hotel, you can. If you're in the stadium, you can.
If you're in the comfort of your own home and throw $10 on a NBA money line, you're fine.
Okay. Which, I don't know. It also seems a little like it's so like if a player's sitting, if it's mini camp, right, and there's an NBA playoff game about to happen, and they have a half-hour break, like if he's sitting in his locker, he can't make the bet, but if he walks across the street to Chickies and Pete's, he can make the bet.
Yes, that would actually be a very funny scene. I'm sure there'll be like a Barstool video of like so and so had to get the parlay in, and he's standing like across the street from a team
Literally.
facility or something like that, so he can place the bet. It's the gambling thing among players and NIL are two things that seem to be. I don't have an answer for how to control it, to be honest with you.
And the one, like, betting on the NFL, no. Betting on your own team, absolutely not. And like that
Definitely
dude
not.
in the Colts, he was like betting mid game.
Was he really?
Apparently, he bet like second half of like a game he was in.
Did he at least bet on the Colts?
I think so, yeah.
That's funny.
But like, come on, dude. Like, you're done. That's Pete Rose,
Yeah,
basically.
you got it. You got it. That's pretty much the only rule that there is.
Yeah, literally. Just
Don't bet on yourself.
It's not that hard. So there's that. What else? You got anything about the Eagles?
No, Jalen Hurts announced they had a bunch of guest celebrities announce the roster for the U.S. Women's World Cup. He has the best PR team of anybody in the league. Like every time he pops up in an advertisement or just some type of press clipping, you're like, oh wow, he did this thing that has an 100% approval rating. He's just always like he did an Air Jordan commercial. He did, the U.S. Women's World Cup.
Yep.
He worked with Alex's Lemonade Stand. Like those are the things that he's in. He did an interview a few years back with GQ. He's always doing I think he was also doing something for black businesses. He's just always in something and you're like, oh, great fit.
Yep.
Good job by his agent. I feel like they're just like batting 1,000 on getting him
on
out there, and his approval rating is 99.9.
I think if he ran for mayor in the city right now, he'd win.
It would not be hard in the city.
Yeah, it would not be hard. All right, I'm going to leave you with this. I saw this and I haven't thrown this by you yet. Saw this on NFL Twitter before we came up. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 5 different options. You get to pick one. Okay.
Okay.
For $10,000, you would have to gain one rushing yard against the San Francisco 49ers defense. So that's option one.
That would be easy though, because they'd be crying and complaining about the NFC Championship the whole time. They wouldn't pay attention to me.
Option 2 is for $20,000. You have to throw and complete a go route to Tyreek Hill.
Oh.
Option 3, for $30,000, you would have to catch a pass against Sauce Gardner.
Oh.
Option 4, or I'm sorry, that was for $50,000 on Sauce Gardner. Option 4 for $100,000, block Micah Parsons. And for $1 million, break a tackle against Aaron Donald.
So no, I'd be paralyzed.
Might as well get on the ocean.
I could get a yard. If it was 1 yard, I could get a yard. I'm athletic enough that I could do it. I like to think I could throw a goal ball to Tyreek Hill. I have a good arm, but it's more so the fact that he's so fast that he could burn any corner in the league, and he would do about 90 to 95% of the work. Yep. I just have to put the ball up. He's the one who has to get off the line, get past the corner, create separation, and catch it. And I think if I just put it up to him, I could do that. I think that's where I draw the line. I would get locked down by Sauce Gardner. What was the fourth one?
Blocking Micah Parsons for $100,000.
No shot. He wouldn't even have to run me over, because they would snap the football. And I'd be like, wait, where did he go? I was like, wait, no, he's already by me.
At least he didn't bull rush you.
Yes, I think 4 might be harder than 5. That's my only. I couldn't do either one. Yep. I couldn't break a tackle from Aaron Donald, but I definitely couldn't block Micah Parsons. Because offensive linemen have to move backwards.
Yes.
I don't think I could backtrack, get my feet set, and block him.
No chance. I think catching a pass against Sauce is the only option where you might not die. Because like even throwing to Tyreek, like there's also like a pass rush that you have to avoid, I'm assuming.
That's a great question.
Like, is it just on air? If it's on air, I'm gonna try that one.
Okay, I did think it was on air.
Like, if it's on air, I'm gonna try that. But if it's against a pass rush, who's my O-line. If it's the Eagles O-line, I'll take it. I'll try.
Yeah. So you think you'd draw the line probably 3 because you wouldn't die, right?
Yeah.
I think I'd draw the line after 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
But I mean, definitely option 1, you could die. Option 4, you could definitely die. And option 5, you could definitely die. And option 6, going to submarine at the bottom of the ocean.
Option 6, you give $250,000 and you die.
And that's that, folks. Thanks for tuning in to Submarine Talk, sprinkled in with a little NFL talk. If you want some more about the Eagles, if you want some more about the Cowboys, head over to our YouTube channel. If you're listening to this, if you're watching, thank you for already being on our YouTube channel. Smash that subscribe button. Check out my latest episode about who is going to win the RB2 position for the Cowboys. Check out Aidan's newest video about still crying about the grass in the Super Bowl, as well as our who will be the drunkest at the Super Bowl parade list. Huh?
Subscribe. We're at 517 last time I checked, which is up like 200 since the draft, which is awesome. Follow on TikTok. Every brain idea that I have, I send to our producer Vince, and he makes what was the Mark Zumoff quote? Garbage out of, or gold out of garbage, or whatever. That's what Vince does. Turning garbage into gold. So follow there as well, and follow on TikTok, and also follow us for more submarine content.
I'm sure by next week at this time, we'll have some more submarine conspiracies to talk about.
Oh, can't wait.
Until then, enjoy the beginning of summer.
Chris Hansen here, and I'm going to need you all to take a seat right over there and check out Birds versus Boys.
I think you're completely right here, and I hate it.
Yep. Hey, idiots. Stop doing dumb things. I got 2 phones. Upside alert. I might go insane.
I think you're already there.
There's no hope. Hope is gone.
If this was an AFC North podcast, we'd be done in 15 minutes.
Bob Hope. I'm going to drink bleach.
That is the team you promised me you were going to be this year. This is the Consciously Hopeful podcast.
I'll be watching.